Hey everyone, just checking in with today's daily update. Today will probably be the last update that I do each day. I'm probably going to move to a weekly or bi-weekly update. Probably try and do one each weekend or every other weekend going forward, just because it's a fairly big time sink now that I've got less time each day to work on this. So yeah, this definitely sort of feels like it makes more sense going forward. Now, in terms of what I've been doing today, I mentioned yesterday that I wanted to give players access to the debug features once they complete the game. So I just worked on tidying some of those up. So the hitboxes now draw translucently. Um, so they draw over the top of everything as well, which is good. So that's definitely nicer for the player. Obviously the toggle cam function is still there, so you can lock it to the player. And one I added today was actually noclip. So I just go through walls. Very useful actually, because a lot of what I'm doing is stitching levels together, and to make sure that they all spawn in the correct location, having it as if I were playing it in world would definitely make a lot of sense. So definitely very useful feature for me testing, and I think it's the sort of thing that will be very fun for players to play around with anyway. So yeah, that's that. Now, obviously I stitched all the levels together today. We've got this little transition here into the boss, so it now does this sort of wake up animation once you enter its room. And yeah, that's pretty much that. In terms of death animation, I had one of those as well. It's not quite perfect, but it's definitely better than it was, where it just sort of disappeared. So yeah, in terms of the actual performance of the boss, I need to do some fine tuning, because there's definitely some major issues at the moment with it being a bit too hard for a World 1 boss, in my opinion. It sort of shoots things just a bit too fast, really. It's not really easy to justify that as a sort of level 1 intro. I do also have this where I'm sort of going out of bounds because I forgot to disable noclip before I came in here, and I don't really want to go and do that right now while I'm in the middle of the fight. Plus, also, there's a bit of a bug at the moment that I introduced somehow, where if you strafe into a wall vertically, it's actually killing you at the moment. I don't entirely know how I broke that or when I broke that, because I've not really touched strafing in a fair while, but it is what it is. So yeah, as you can see there, just small death animation. It doesn't actually interact with the walls, which it's meant to bounce off of, but at the moment it sort of disables its hitbox. I just need to move it. Rather than disabling its hitbox entirely, I just need to disable player interactions during the death animation. But yeah, it sort of pops off, it spawns a bunch of particles, and then vanishes, shrinks over time. So yeah, pretty happy with that. It's absolutely fine. I think, yeah, it also fires an event when it dies, to sort of tell the game that it's dead. So great, wonderful. World 1 is essentially complete, obviously, other than the sound design and things that will sort of carry over between levels. So yeah, that's that. That's where we're at with that. So let's go over the goals here. So given that it's the last day, week 1, I'd say let's just go over it all. So week 1, I think I was very happy with. Everything got achieved there. Week 2, I actually sort of swapped up a bit and added the sound and got the music going, because it was a bit dull otherwise. So I'm very happy that that got implemented there. Class of regular objects, I think I had like 2 or 3 left, yeah, by the end of it, so I moved those to week 3. Create menu I opted not to do because I didn't think there were enough levels to justify it, and now I might look at that sort of sooner rather than later. Designing the puzzles, I got most of those done that week. I think I finished them off in actually week 3, because I was out one of those days with my friend. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. Start implementing. I definitely did that. Now, week 3 is pretty much where this project went out the window. Started a job on day 1 of week 3, and that definitely took away, well, 6 to 8 hours each day. Plus, obviously, I was tired from the job, so then that would take an extra hour or 2 away. So, yeah, that definitely sort of threw the major spanner in the works. That's 10 less hours a day to work on this is fairly significant, and I definitely wasn't able to get anywhere near as much done as I wanted. But as it stands, I'm definitely happier with this level of work and this approach to it, because in terms of the end product, I think it's actually probably going to yield a better result. I won't burn out as quick. So that's absolutely fine, and it's probably better for my mental health this way. So all good on that front. So week 3 goals: finish objects I did, particle effects I did, draw backgrounds I did. Now basic sound design, this is something I actually want to. I thought about this a lot, so I started to try and record some sound effects earlier today, and then I realised this isn't the greatest quality. This mic, as much as it's good for talking to people, it's not the greatest for recording things. Um, it all comes out a bit sort of it's almost like a muffled effect, and I don't really want that for sound effects in the game. So I've ordered a mic on Amazon. So once that arrives, I'll start sort of getting some sounds implemented. There's a lot of sounds that are sort of from the original game that I could use, that were sort of like free sounds, but I'd rather go with my own approach on that one. Most of the graphics I've redone anyway, and so you know, making most of the sounds again myself would just make sense really. So yeah, that's something that's just going to be done over time, starting whenever I get my new microphone. It's meant to arrive tomorrow, but I've had a few issues with Amazon before, so that wouldn't surprise me. Implementation of level design. So yeah, obviously we've got World 1 done. I wanted to get way more done. Obviously that was, spanner in the works and all that. And so yeah, week 4, polishing, puzzles, particle effects, graphics. Yeah, all of that was pretty much, worked on, just at a much slower rate. So in terms of where we're at, one complete world is not bad. I don't think the game's in a near enough state to be able to sort of release it happily. But in terms of um, the rate of progress, I think we'll get there in the end. I'm going to work on this, as I say, over the next sort of few months, and then hopefully I'll have a finished product to sort of show you all. Either way, that's going to be it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in over this sort of 30-day period. It's been a blast from my end, especially learning how to do a lot of, anything and everything that I needed to do. The sound in particular, I feel like I learned a great deal there, and the pixel shaders, learning how to blend colors properly. Very, very useful. So definitely gained some major skills out of this. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you either this coming weekend or maybe the next one, for my next update. Take care, everyone.